Good afternoon. Welcome to the Thursday, July 20th, 2023 public meeting of the Kingston City Land Bank's Acquisition, Disposition, and Construction Committee meeting. As always, advance notice of this meeting has been made available on our website prior to the event. We welcome general questions from the public and ask that they limit their comments to no more than 2 minutes per speaker. With that, I will turn it over to the chair of the committee, Aaron Chilwich.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here today. Welcome to to all of our the future people who watch this on YouTube. So we have actually quite a bit to talk about today. Thank you, Mike, for putting together the agenda. I forgot that I guess I'm now the chair of this committee. Bob said so.
Happy to do it.
I appreciate it. So I guess we'll start with the Downs brokerage agreement, which Mike shared the draft of yesterday, and I guess the number is about what they had suggested, slightly less, right? Because after they did a walkthrough, they revised it down. I'm just trying to find the documents which Mike sent. Hold on one moment.
Sure.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Owen actually did.
I was going to say, I'll hand it over to whoever's going to talk it through.
I was just going to note that Owen had done the walkthrough with the brokerage firm, and I think that was their kind of general assessment. They didn't know what state it was in on the inside, so their initial estimate was reduced, and they requested that we conduct some minor landscaping work, which is underway and in process. So it was maybe trimming the shrubs in front, Owen, something like that. Can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
Yes.
You are. You're back.
Good.
You can hear me now? Okay. Sorry. Yeah, it's that they did ask for the shrubs to be cleaned up, and it's not quite in process, but it's ready to be in process whenever you give me the word to do that.
Okay. Thank you. So the price that they were proposing taking it to market for is $189,000 even. It's a place to start. If everybody's okay with it, I just wanted to bring it through this committee. I don't think I would bring it to the board. I think this is more of like an ADC level committee decision, because we already agreed to do a brokerage RFP and we already agreed to sell it at the board level, or alternatively, I could just throw it in the board package for Monday.
Did we? I mean, I know like we have, but I don't think we've had a specific resolution to dispose of the property. Obviously, it's implied by a broker and stuff, but I don't know. I don't care.
I think you're right. I would definitely bring any contract to the
Right.
board.
I guess that's true. Yeah. Okay. I don't think it
Come back. Yeah.
Okay. So everyone is okay with that? With the me signing that and getting them going? They're kind of chomping at the bit to
yeah.
get
So
it going, because it's
what's the timeline on like getting a listing up?
I've learned a couple things along the way. The documents have to match up in terms of timeline in order to list it in MLS. But when they had first sent us this proposal, they were talking about a few days to get it listed. So it's pretty quick.
How do you feel about trying to coordinate with the cheap old houses people to get, because I guess what I'm worried about, well, okay, couple things. I think at the board meeting, how do we respond to an offer? Say an offer comes in on August 5th. We don't have a board meeting until September 20 something. I guess we could do just a virtual vote to accept an offer, and then the final disposition could be like a real board resolution. I don't really know. I guess I'm also thinking if I can coordinate with cheap old houses to have the content go up like the same day the listing goes up.
Okay,
Because I feel like at that price, we'll probably get offers quickly.
Mhm.
So there won't be a point in trying to reach that audience if it's like 2 weeks later.
sure. So would you like me to ask them to give a
So,
specific date, or how do you want to do it?
yeah, I think we should just let me reach out to those folks today and see, because I don't know if they'll even want to do it.
Mhm.
Because I think their normal cutoff is 150. So it's a little higher, but that might not be true.
Okay,
Let me reach out to them. If
Okay.
they're into it, then I'll get more specific with them on when that could be posted and everything, and then we can just coordinate the listing.
okay.
Around.
Okay.
Do you want me to draft anything for you to just make it easier, or how can I help? I'm happy to,
For cheap old houses.
yeah,
No, I'll just send them a message.
okay, cool.
How would
Uh,
people feel about, I mean, given the time thing that Daniel's talking about, which I hadn't thought about with August, how would people feel about voting, or I guess Daniel and Mike, how would you feel about voting on this Monday? To give Mike authorization to dispose of the property? I mean, you would, like, with some, maybe notifying, with communication. Obviously, I expect you would do that regardless of whether we put it in the,
Totally,
but
totally.
how would you feel about that?
So I guess I'm wondering if like if people are going to submit anything with their offers, or if we want to ask for that, such as a rehabilitation plan or just a plan. And if so, then whether the board wants to review that. So like I've seen it done recently. I saw a house that they were saying all offers due by this day. So basically it was,
Okay,
which actually I think would be kind of smart for something like this. And then we would have, 5 offers to review, and we may not choose the highest if somebody's local or somebody has an especially great plan or whatever the hell. So yeah, I don't know. This is
so I would, yeah, totally. We haven't done this before, and I think the brokerage firm would be flexible with us. And I'm really glad we're talking about it. I hadn't thought about it as much as I probably should have about this. I could say to the brokerage firm, we want to coordinate with cheap old houses, so we need to understand when you would be able to list it, and Daniel is checking with them. We would like to have offers due by, just throwing a date out there, August 15th or August 31st, or I one's got something from the dispo policy. Maybe that answers everything.
well, maybe we aim to review offers at our next ADC meeting. So
Okay,
I feel like the things to figure out is like cheap old house,
excellent.
yay or nay, and when. And are they doing the photography? Who's doing the listing photography?
They are doing the photography, or they've offered
Is it gonna be good?
to. I'm not taking the picture, so it won't be horrible. They did submit a listing package with the,
I see that, and it looks like they do a very nice job, so I'm not like super worried, but
It doesn't look bad.
sure.
oh my God, Sean Nutley is an agent for them. I didn't even know he was an agent. He's such a lunatic. Oh shit, this is recorded. Cut it out. It's okay, I think. Well, anyway, I think as clients, we would be entitled to review and approve listing images, which I think I would like.
Okay,
I mean,
got it.
I have a bunch of nice photos of that house. I can easily take more. But
Okay. How
okay,
about we have them do the work and get the, take some
Yeah.
pictures and you approve them.
Yeah, Daniel, I was gonna say, we're hiring them to do a job. Let's let them do the job. I know you have.
I know, I just like, listen, my house didn't sell for 2 years, and part of that was because there was like one crappy, like weird picture of something that I still don't even know what it was, so I just want to give ourselves the best chances of success. Okay. Cool.
Okay, got it. I'll circle with them. We'll put forth our list of demands. I'll let them know that I'll be able to move forward on Monday with them. But we need to nail down approvals and photos and the process. And then we're gonna take it to the next ADC meeting. This one will review everything.
Oh, and has generously placed the language from our disposition policy in the chat.
Yeah.
Yes, he has.
And wants to review. Thank you, Owen.
Very helpful. All right, just jumping down to keep moving, Murray Street. I was asked by Bartek to meet with Steve Knox at Murray Street last Friday because the city wanted to figure out a stabilization plan for the property. So it was a very difficult commute for me, but I made it, the full 2-minute walk. And the city is taking off the front of the house, the front stair entrance thing. The concern being that it does look somewhat inviting and it is unsafe. And we know what we know. I don't have a timeline on that, but the city is paying for it. The city is undertaking it. So I took the opportunity to walk through the building. It's gotten really, we should take another look. And I was wondering if we shouldn't even bring in a structural professional to take a look at it. It's pretty sketchy, like the floors have collapsed and it hasn't gotten better. I think we knew it wouldn't get better, but I'd like to walk it with you, Daniel, when you have time.
Oh, I'd love to go back. It's been years.
This is Daniel's favorite, right? This is the
So
one
I mean, it's just the most absurd of the roster. Remind me, I'm sorry. I thought where we basically landed was to acquire it and spend $0 and see if we can just unload it to somebody.
Yes. I think that still remains the plan. We're conducting a phase 1, for example, and we've done a title report. We are doing a survey, Kyle? I don't think so. I can't remember.
Sounds dangerous.
The whole property is pretty gnarly, but there is a price and someone would do something with it for a price. So yes, that still is our plan.
Okay.
I just wanted to for you to see it currently.
Well, I guess the question is, like, do you think that having an engineer, I mean, I think we know what an engineer would say. Like,
Okay.
what would be the
Fair.
purpose of doing?
Yeah, I know. Just if someone were to say this is, if in the next big windstorm, this is going to fall down. So if you buy it, you're buying something that's very structurally unsafe.
The
You should
liability.
really, yeah, you should really be really careful. I would want someone to, at least I want you to see it first, like totally, and to go through it. But I was super surprised. It was when we've had heavy rains. This was when the rains were still happening. It just things were worse than I thought that they would be.
That's really saying something.
Yeah, it's not really.
Okay, well, let's go over there. But yeah, I guess I'm just like, is the concern that we just should potentially just walk away from it because the liability is too high, or
Yes.
okay. I
Yes,
understand.
that is my current concern. Okay, well, I'll circle with you next week maybe, and that works.
Okay,
Cool.
Brad's gonna be around.
Oh, good. That's great. It'd be great to see him. We could take,
Yeah.
you always bring him on the best adventures when he comes to Kingston.
He's coming on a second round of house tours tomorrow for the other two designers. He just doesn't know it
Oh,
yet.
that's great. That's awesome.
He just doesn't know it yet.
Love
For
it.
future Brad, sorry. Yeah, welcome to Kingston. Okay, real quick, Legacy Cities 1, Phase 2, sales and marketing, we're on schedule, not only on budget, on schedule with Franklin and with Hurley and with Rogers. So I think I would like to start that in August or possibly September. The thinking being that we would finish the sales and marketing campaign, get folks looking to pre-qualify for mortgages around the time the CFOs are happening, which are in January for all three.
Let's do all three of them right after Labor Day. Or before.
Yeah, maybe.
Uh,
Sorry, I had a thought as well, which is, wouldn't it be great if we did the ribbon cutting, celebrated the fact that we're selling 2 homes within the next 30, 60 days. Or 60, 90 days, actually,
Oh.
but, and then follow that up with the sales marketing campaign. Sorry, that was what I wanted to say. Is that we would do the ribbon cutting, get the press out of that, show the completion of the homes and the sale of 2 homes, and then move right into the sales marketing campaign. Might be a way to get better
That's fine.
That makes sense.
connectivity.
As
Are you
opposed to trying
saying,
to start one, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, Kyle.
are you saying like announce that we have 2 more sales at the ribbon cutting, or do it
Maybe,
afterwards?
yeah,
Maybe like
no,
blend the press into one thing.
I like that. Anything
That's-
we can do to push the word out. Yeah, that's a great idea.
And sorry, are we saying we'll market all 3 of them together?
I think so.
Will they have the same? No, because Rogers is a 4-bedroom.
Right.
It's gonna be
may-
a more,
you
a
may-
little bit of a more complicated thing, yeah.
We may drop Rogers to a 3-person, 3 to 8-person household size from a 4 to an 8-person household size to make it more easily marketable. We talked about that a few months ago. And
The numbers still work.
I think they work better. We'll have to check. Honestly, I should let me not
Oh.
speak in Excel without looking at it.
Okay. And then
And the,
Franklin. Is Franklin, are we staying with the same like 30-year enforcement mortgage?
it's interesting. So
Even though
our
Is
enforcement,
like, is Legacy Cities 10 or did that change?
so Legacy Cities is 10-year term at 80% AMI. Franklin is 30-year term at an AMI for resales 20% above the first set. That was our original free and clear,
Right.
where the land bank, we're making up our own enforcement mortgage. The state of New York had issues with it and wanted it to be consistent with the state's enforcement mortgage, which is 10-year, 80% AMI cap on sales. So we went with
Right.
it, and the mechanism for enforcement would be the security behind the value of the property. And so there is no security for the for the KCLB enforcement mortgage. So it's effect, we're not placing an enforcement mortgage on the Legacy Cities homes, because if they had appraised at $600,000, there would be something to secure it against, but they didn't. So the mortgage plus the HTFC subsidy already gets you to the appraised value, if that makes sense. So there's nothing to secure it. So
Okay.
anyway, that doesn't matter.
Makes
So it'll be different
I guess
explanations for
I'm
different
just-
purchases.
My only like question about it is whether it becomes too confusing to market because it's kind of different deals. Like if qualifications and everything for Rogers and Hurley are exactly the same, then I don't see why we wouldn't do it just like the last 2, but Franklin is like a different deal unless we change.
Well, it's the same AMI level. It's 80% AMI for all 3. The household sizes would be
So
different.
it's just a question of if the
It's just the
I
enforcement.
think
mortgage.
they all three go into the same lottery and like we basically just do the same thing that we did on. Union.
Oh, don't know. Great
Okay.
question. I don't know about the lottery, but I know that we could be selling 3 80% AMI units at the same time. And I think we'd have probably a better response maybe because if you would just get more people, you get people looking at
Right.
3 homes as opposed to 2.
I think whether we have 1 or 2 lotteries is kind of dependent on the applicants, right? If we get if all the applicants that we get are all the people who get to the final stage are eligible for both homes, then you could do 1 lottery. If you have somebody who's only eligible for one of the homes, then
so.
you'd have to basically break it up into 2.
Yep, and if we did 2 lotteries and 2 sales and marketing plans and 2 stuff at the same time, it would just be, I think that would be more.
Right,
confusing.
no, that seems incredibly confusing.
Let's not do that. Yeah.
Right. So I will get an answer about making sure the lotteries can be the same, just because it is, you're offering 2 different sets of enforcement mortgages. That
Right,
part might be, you might not be able to do 2 different lotteries on the same day probably, but the qualifications are the same. It's household size and income, 80% AMI. So you're kind of searching for the same pool of buyers. They
Right.
just get a different thing that they're buying.
right.
Cool.
Okay.
Real quick, Kyle and Owen, you want to run through anything you want to talk about on construction? Owen, they both sent around these awesome matrices for tracking and meeting minute notes and all that stuff. You're muted. Oh,
Thanks.
sure.
I think not too much to report except just to elaborate on the comments that I put in my email regarding the schedule for Rogers and Hurley. Both of those construction schedules show those projects starting close to the beginning of this year, 2023, which is just true in that sense that some demos happened and certain things got going, but East Union and German Street were sort of the focus of the first half of the year, and now Hurley and Rogers are the focus of the second half of the year. So I guess I'm just highlighting that while that way of measuring progress on schedule like shows them as behind, I don't actually think that the projects are behind. We're going to redo the construction schedule for Hurley just to make it more accurate to what's going on, and maybe I'll figure out a different way to show how the projects are doing, keeping up with that. But otherwise, things are good and not a lot of crazy surprises. So construction is okay.
They started framing the porch at Franklin yesterday. Like a new house.
It's going to be good. It's definitely nice to have them working there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's looking great. Cool.
Thanks. I like
Same
reading the
deal.
minutes. I'm glad you figured out how to get the fridge through that door.
What? Say again?
So I liked reading the minutes. I'm glad you figured out you had to widen the door in order to get the fridge through. It was smart
Yes.
to figure that out beforehand.
Well, yeah.
Think about that later. How is that possible? Because the fridge can't be that deep. I'm getting involved.
Yeah.
I was like, I understand the width, but you just turn it, and usually the doors aren't even attached, but if they are, you just take them off.
Well, either way, we got it covered.
I'm excited. Thank you for managing that situation. Garrett was real mad at me specifically, but when isn't he?
On financing, basically echoing Owen's comments on schedule. We've drawn down all the Novo funds. That was a couple months ago, and now we are drawing on CPC and HCR funds for the rest of the project. Yeah, you're taking a look at basically, yeah, on track, on schedule. Not a ton to report here. We will be doing some reallocating when we pay off the German and Union loans, or portions of the loan. And yeah, we have some, if you look at German and Union, the balance there. We finished construction. We have some minor punch list items there, but those are just the bulk of that is developer fee, which is still owed to us, and then some savings we've had on the project or some ongoing kind of carrying costs that might go into that balance. But yeah, onward to Hurley and Rogers.
Okay. Right at 2:29, I would ask that the members of the committee consider executive session to discuss matters related to properties that the land bank is under contract discussions for and could affect the value.
Just 1 minute before we do executive session, just
Sure.
the one thing from comms I wanted to
Oh,
pull over to
sure.
this side of things.
Sorry.
Daniel, so I hear that you were talking or mentioned the idea of another event at the two homes before we saw them at the last board meeting, the one I missed. And I wanted to find out what your thought was so that we can figure that out.
No formal plans. I
Okay.
just, I think we should plan some kind of ribbon cutting, something.
Mike, you're thinking for the ribbon cutting, you're 60 to 90 days, right? From now, you said? Or I
Yeah,
guess it
it's
could be before that
unfortunate.
even.
It could be whenever. The homes
Yeah.
are, there's a little bit of punch list, I think, some paint on the front of German, maybe a couple other things,
I
but
think
the
they
homes are
did
done.
it.
It's
Did
the exterior
have
paint on
cameras
German
up
is
in front of
done.
it? Daniel, do you live at all these houses all the time?
No, but
It's uncanny.
I was
You drive
talking
by.
to the other one of the on site, and Rick said somebody was over at German finishing painting. Yeah, I think especially like if we were gonna pick one, I think we should definitely do German and get people inside, have a nice presser.
Yep.
I don't know.
And we have the photos up on the wall still, which is great, before photos, which look great. How about, I don't know how quickly it will move. The problem is that this has been caught up in the state's own internal conflicts between their different divisions as far as the program and the underwriting for the mortgage issuing side. So we're waiting for the new purchase price limits to become effective. They are intended to be effective July 1st. The system has not been updated, which I think means somebody needs to type the new numbers into the system and press enter. Then they can register the mortgage and begin the process. It may go very quickly. They're the two individuals who are helping people obtain these mortgages are checking every day with the state, and they're really rare to go. So maybe I should get on this with planning something in August.
Okay.
You know, so we don't miss it. So people aren't like
Yeah.
closing and then we're asking to hold a ribbon cutting at their house.
So we think it's. I was saying we think it's possible it'll be before Labor Day that they close.
I don't want to miss the window. I honestly think that it's 60 days from now. At the best case scenario, 60 to 90 days.
Okay,
But I don't know.
okay. Well, maybe let's start.
After Labor Day.
Daniel, you said, what did you say? After Labor Day?
I don't know.
I mean, why not do it? We could just do it like, even if it doesn't close for 30 days after, is there any reason we couldn't do it? Like, I don't know, what day is Labor Day? September.
4th.
I mean, we couldn't do it the weekend before, like Saturday, the 26th or something like that? Or Sunday, the 27th?
Me,
I see-
we will have to be ready to launch the campaign too, right?
Oh, that's
For
right.
the next 2 months.
We talked about
It's
that.
okay. We can make anything work.
Well, should we try the week after Labor Day, the 9th,
Okay.
10th? Why do I feel like I have a plan that weekend? It's not on my calendar.
That works well for me because I'm supposed to get a haircut on the 8th. So
That's scheduled far in advance. I know.
I do it for the whole year at the beginning of the year. It's like the most adult thing I do.
So September 9th preliminarily, let's say Saturday, September 9th. Okay,
Okay, tentatively, that is when we will plan to launch the next campaign, to have a ribbon cutting event, to invite the local media out to it, to get the podium, get the big scissors. We're pretty good at this. Everybody has t-shirts.
my t-shirt shrunk. It's way too small now, I gotta say, but
Do you want another one? I could get some
I
more.
mean,
Maybe
another
do a
one.
crop top. You'll be fine.
like,
And
would you mind circulating just like a calendar hold for that?
Sure, you got it.
All right, now we can.
I have a
Go ahead.
question.
Sorry.
You can hear me okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make a pitch if we are inviting people, you know, officials and stuff, like to maybe consider like a early weekday evening or late afternoon rather than you know, asking people to come on a Saturday when, you know, I don't know. I just always feel sad for like the mayor when he's somewhere on a Saturday, but
Feel sad for the mayor.
I do.
Feel sad
Um,
for us. He gets paid.
How would you feel about like a Thursday evening? I mean, I don't know, work is hard with people, but go ahead, Dan.
it's trade-offs, I understand, but I just wanted to
Yeah.
offer that perspective.
I think that's smart. I think we did the Van Buren one on a weekday. And
It was a
that
Friday,
was pretty well attended.
Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
Want to try for the 8th at 3 p.m. I know when are you getting a haircut? What time?
Scheduled for 10:15. So
Okay, 3 p.m.
it
Does that
usually
work?
takes like 6 hours. It's fine.
All right, I will send the calendar invite. See it all, process of elimination.
Sounds
Okay.
fine. Yeah.
All right, executive, now let's go into executive session.
I make a motion.
I second the motion.
Uh,
All in favor?
uh,
Motion passes.
All right,
great.
good committee meeting, everybody.
Thanks.
Motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
All in favor? Okay, bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks very much.
Thank
See you at finance.
Bye.
Bye.